take me forward 5 years from now. What does LiveArt look like? And also maybe we can touch on this concept of real world assets, because you alluded earlier that maybe this is just the beginning, and in the future that could involve a lot of other real world assets. Now, this is a term that gets thrown around way too much in Web3, but then also, what does that mean to you practically? What is a real world asset in the future?
Well, I think that it's unlikely that people will live in a purely digital world. It's possible, and some people think that we already are. It's all a simulation.
Yes.
And I think that hypothesis actually, has legs, personally. It's hard to disprove. But let's just kind of back to, our real world. It's unlikely that people will just go completely digital. It's possible, right? It's like VR, there is technology for it, and people could in fact spend their lives there. But I think it's unlikely. I think people will have a connection. So their nexus is going to be in the digital space, and all the trends are pointing in that direction. But they have to maintain some connection to the physical world. And I think that's fundamentally what this RWA with respect to the digital world and Web3 in particular is. It's the ability to bring a piece of some physical experience into the digital world, where the majority of your life is going to be centered on in the future. Or maybe not the majority, but an increasingly large portion of your life will be centered on in the future. So fundamentally, that's what it is. And I think that art is an interesting first step in that direction, because people have that connection to art in this world and in that world, and it's a natural bridge. But I think in the future, other kinds of assets will make that transition as well. And you see already some of that happening. Fashion, sort of going that way. And by the way, very interesting synergies with games there as well, because within games, you need fashion for your avatar. And so there are lots of brands that are making that transition and crossing over and then selling clothes for your avatar under their own brands. It's like all that stuff is happening already, so it's not even new. And then other asset classes may follow. So various luxury goods and other things as well.
Hey, I know investing in crypto is scary. It takes a real leap of faith because there are so many scams, rug pulls, and bad actors out there. It's a dangerous business, which is why 95% of people lose all their money. Well, that's why I created the London Real Investment Club, so you can access the hottest deals on the planet and use the crypto bull market to create the generational wealth that you deserve. Join my team of over 100 people from around the world that are making millions of dollars behind the scenes investing in blockchain, AI, Web3 games, DeFi, Bitcoin, and more. Don't miss out. Click the link below to book a call with one of my team now. But hurry, this bull market will end soon.
I know investing in crypto can be scary. That's why you gotta join the investment club. Pull the trigger. Let's do this.
So I think that in the future, our digital sort of self is going to not just use digital assets in kind of inside the digital world, but also some pieces or shards, this is a term that we coined, of physical assets as well. So this is the trend. I think art is on the forefront of this trend. And I think it's sort of a natural first mover along that trend for the reasons that I mentioned earlier. And that's why we focused on it first. But in the future, like 5 years from now, that may extend to other asset classes as well. I'm sure it will, in fact, like fashion for sure, and maybe other things too.
And do you think you'll go into those as well?
Quite possibly. I think that, whether LiveArt will go, after all, it's LiveArt, may not, but I think that there are opportunities in that general direction for sure.
So you could spin something off and go into property or securities or any number of real world assets that could be on blockchain.
Yeah, real world assets, like let's just make, maybe it's a pedantic sort of distinction, but lots of things are thrown into real world assets. So I would take the financial real world asset into its own subcategory. It's probably going to be the largest in the near term, but I think that eventually the non-financial real world assets, art, real estate, fashion, and so on, is really, I think, what the interesting thing is. I do not understand personally, maybe that's just a limit of my understanding, of why the financial RWA is so hot, because I think there are plenty of ways to buy it already outside of the blockchain, but that may be just my own limitation. But the real world assets of like things that you can touch, bringing them into the digital world, that is transformational.
Property is the big one.
I think so, right?
Yeah, but I don't think anyone's managed to crack it.
For the same reason. It's like taking it too head on. You have to think, have to think creatively about how would property be owned by this new community, and maybe gamification is a part of it. Everybody is thinking about it too linearly. I think there are other ways to think about it.
Sounds like they need you. They're next in property.
To continue watching the rest of the episode for free, visit our website londonreal.tv or click the link in the description below.